Hey, welcome back, everyone. It's me, Mr. 4K. People have been emailing me quite often on my email inbox. I don't know why people can just leave a comment on my YouTube channel, especially on the Boosteroid videos that I've done. But fine, I'll answer your questions that you have sent me on my email. And the questions are regarding the Boosteroid. Like what happened with you in the Boosteroid, and you've been doing Boosteroid, you've been partnering with them. It was a one-time deal I did for 1 month with them, and I told them I will only do this for 1 month. I will, try to help you guys out in 1 month, and hopefully my videos will break that ice of algorithm and bring the recognition of the service versus GeForce Now. Now, before I go into what I'm about to say, I just want you to understand this. Even what I'm about to say right now, as a feedback, I want you to understand this. I still recommend uh, Boosteroid in terms of uh, the service versus GeForce Now. And the reason I recommend the Boosteroid because they're not putting any time limitations on how much you can play. You can play as much as you want to play. They do have an upgrade coming out, and that's what I'm really waiting for next year. Sometime next year, they got a Ryzen 9000 series CPU and 9000 series GPU coming out next year. So I'm kind of waiting for that. Um, but I still recommend for $9.89. I still recommend Boosteroid over GeForce Now because GeForce Now is $20 a month. You're only limited to 8 hours a session, and you got 100 hours a month, and then you have to pay additional $7 for 15 hours a day. So I certainly would still recommend Boosteroid over GeForce Now. However, there's a caveat with that. And this is what I'm about to say right now. The caveat is one of the things that GeForce Now has, the Nvidia has, versus a small company like Boosteroid. Nvidia has the leverage. They're a huge company. They're billionaire. They're billionaires of a company. Okay, Jensen, it's a billionaire. He's in the billionaires club. You see him everywhere now. He's out there, with all of these other billionaires. Okay, it's a multi-billion-dollar corporation. All right, so they're a huge corporation. So they have the leverage. They have the ability to bring games like Battlefield uh, and other games like Flight Simulator and all these other games that are available out there with a RTX 5080. They have much better servers with a much lower latency, with a much more faster uh, GPUs and CPUs with a abilities of ultra widescreen, 244 hertz, etc., etc. So they have, of course, much better technology to work with. That's because they have the resources and the money to do so. So Nvidia, of course, has the upper hand when it comes to that. And I'm not denying that Nvidia doesn't have the upper hand. Of course they do. GeForce Now definitely has the upper hand. However, excuse me, you have to understand, Boosteroid's a small company. All right, they're a small company. They're not like a big company. They originally started in 2017 in this is before the war in Ukraine. They partner up with some companies in Europe, in Germany, and France to run these servers, and then they spread out into North America. They also partner up with some companies here in North America and United States to build data centers and use their data centers, not to build data centers, excuse me, to rent these data centers. Okay, Boosteroid doesn't own data centers. They're in partnership with other companies that are leasing the data centers to Boosteroid. So that costs money, of course, for a small company like the Boosteroid. So So what am I talking about then? Because you guys are probably wondering. Why don't you just get to the point, Mr. 4K? Why don't you just tell us why you stopped using Boosteroid and why aren't you promoting Boosteroid anymore? All right, so let me get to that important part. As I told Boosteroid marketing team, my feedback, and again, remember what I'm about to say. This is a feedback, even though it might be a negative feedback, but it's still the feedback nonetheless. One of the problems right now with Boosteroid, it's not the service. Service is great for $9.89. Are you kidding me? It's great. You get unlimited access, play as much as you want to play. All right, it's $9.89. It's come on. It doesn't get any better than that. It's way better than GeForce Now service. However, the issue is it's hard to get people to sign up, even though the service is $9.89. It's cheap as it can be. You have unlimited access. All of that's great. The issue and the problem is the lack of games, the lack of variety of different types of games. Because remember, what sells the service is not just, oh, I have this powerful rig or I have this powerful PC. What makes the console a console? It's not like how powerful the console is, what it has inside in terms of hardware. What makes a service and a console sell is, well, what games do you have? And sadly, they don't have that many games updated. And it's hard to get variety of people here to join this. Well, where's the sports games? Where's NBA 2K? Where's FIFA FC 26? Where's especially considering that they're from Europe and there's a lot of people in Europe and even here in North America who love FC, who love soccer, right? So they want to play soccer. FC 26 would be pretty much a big deal to boost this, service. Where's the FC 26? Where is Battlefield 6? Just Battlefield 6 and FC 26 would have been a game changer. You would get a lot of people joining on this service like, hey man, Battlefield 6, FC 26, not bad. Madden 26, not bad. You got to have more variety. Where's the racing games? Like, where's Assetto Corsa Evo? Where is, all these other racing games? We need more, man. The problem is we need more games. They need more variety, and there's not that much variety. And majority of stuff, it's from the Steam, either Steam or Epic. Like Ninja Gaiden 4. Why are we like using Ninja Gaiden 4 from Steam when you already can use it from the Game Pass? Why can't you get the license from the Game Pass? So what happened with the partnership with Microsoft and Boosteroid? Are they only giving you a limited license, right? Why? See, there's no, because this you have to pay. Here's the problem with Ninja Gaiden 4. Like, people who have a Game Pass on a PC and they're paying like $16 a month, they're like, hey, you know what? Maybe I should sign up with this Boosteroid. I can play on 7900 XT, their GPU that they have. But the problem is you have to pay for it on Steam, and who wants to pay $70 to play this on the Boosteroid? You see the issue. You see the problem. So why not include the Game Pass version? Like, I don't understand that. Like, why can't you guys get like these Game Pass games? If you already have a partnership with Microsoft, like what seems to be an issue, you should be able to bring all of those Microsoft games, right? Isn't the Microsoft all about Xbox Anywhere, right? And we heard this before. Yeah, it's Xbox Anywhere, but you have to pay $30 a month. Yeah. Don't get me started with the Xbox. The Xbox, it's a separate video that I have to do. All right, seriously. Xbox has really gone so far out there in a never land, Yeah. It's a separate video that I would have to make for Xbox. It's just okay. But anyway, so the issue is this, and again, I'm not. This is not me being critical of Boosteroid. Understand that, and even Boosteroid marketing team. If you're watching this, I'm not trying to be critical. I'm just trying to give you my honest feedback, and I think that's what you guys wanted. You wanted my honest feedback. Well, here is my honest feedback, and I'm telling you what the issue is. I'm telling you why you're having a difficult time to get more people to sign up, and the issue becomes is the lack of games, or thereof lack of games that they don't have, that you don't have. So they're going to say, well, what's the point of me paying $9.89 if I have to pay for these games in order to play them? And you don't have that variety. You know, you need to be more versatile, more variety. That's what I'm trying to say, Boosteroid. And so that's one of the reasons why I stopped. It's first, it was a one-time thing I did just for the month of September. And I told them, let's see how this goes. I'm going to try to help you guys out for 1 month. And I did. And you know, I kept my word. I helped them out for 1 month, which I did. So nobody can say that I didn't. Because if you go back, well, you can go back right now. Go to my channel. Go back to September. The entire month of September, I've dedicated for the Boosteroid. I put the banners and everything. So people who tell me that I didn't, I did. I kept my word. I did the entire month of September for Boosteroid. and the service as a service works really well. But then again, it doesn't matter like how good the service works, like if it's stable and all of that, low latency, 1440p, 4K, 120 hertz, all of that, that's fine and dandy. But the problem is, where are the games? Remember, what sells the service is the games, and without the games, that's an issue. So what I would say to Boosteroid, my honest feedback and advice is, you need more games. You got to get more licenses. This was the issue with GeForce Now too. This was the issue with PlayStation Now. This was an issue with the xCloud. This was an issue with Stadia. Stadia worked well, looking at it from a technological aspect. All of these cloud services work really well, but what makes them so desirable is the games. You know, you gotta have more availability, more games, more variety. So my advice to Boosteroid is this: try to get these licenses, work on those licenses. I know it's not easy, but you need to really focus on getting those licenses, as many licenses as you can. Get as many licenses. Get in touch with EA. Hey, it doesn't cost you anything to contact EA. Say, hey EA, would you like to partner? Tell them a little bit about your company. They might. Tell them your company from Ukraine, you know, war-torn country in Ukraine. They might feel sorry for you guys and say, okay, let's partner. They might say, okay, let's partner. You know, like, keep trying, keep knocking on all the doors. That's what I would do. Like, let me get as many licenses as possible. Because right now what you have is just, and the user interface also needs to be changed. Its user interface is confusing. People have been telling me, I don't like the user interface of Boosteroid. It's all over the place. It needs to be a little bit better. So focus on getting the licenses. As many licenses as possible. Get plenty of sports games. Get in touch with EA. Get in touch with other companies. Try to get as many games as possible, as many genres as possible. The more games you have, the better the service is going to be. The more access of games other people will have. But when you are limited with the games, then people are going to say, well, what's the point? If I can't access any of these games, I have to pay for them. I don't want to do that. So work on the licenses of the games. You need to work on the licensing, get as many licensings as possible, and also work on the user interface. I think it's time to do a makeover on this user interface, because people have been complaining to me they're confused. Everything's like all over the place. It's like shuffling the cards. It's like a gypsy woman in a gypsy village in Romania. It's like shuffling the cards and reading the cards, and it's squeezing the goat's testicles and looking at the crystal ball, and shuffling the cards, and reading your fortune of your future. Everything's all over the place, man. Everything's all over the place, and it's confusing to a lot of people. They can't find half the things they're looking for, and they don't like that. People want things to be organized, compartmentalized, organized, put in different sections. So work on the user interface. Listen, this is not, as I said earlier, this is not me being negative. This is just me giving a honest feedback. All right, and that's what I'm doing. I still support this company. I still do. But as someone who supports them, I just want to, give them an honest feedback. Hey, here's what needs to be fixed. Here's what I would like to see being fixed. Here's what you need to do more. Here's what you need to focus on more. That is, if you want to hear my feedback. Now, if my feedback is not much of a value, well then, it is what it is. But I'm telling you, what I've been saying about the Stadia. Why did Stadia fail? Stadia failed because they didn't listen to the feedback. You have to listen to the feedback. You cannot be ignorant to the feedback. When you become ignorant to the feedback of the public and what the public is telling you, that's when you start failing. It is what it is. Public opinion does matter. And I have to agree on that. Same thing here. I mean, I don't want to see you guys fail. I want to see you guys, become a well-established company. But the only way that happens is you have to listen to the feedback. People are telling you, hey, man, here's what needs to be fixed. Here's what you need to focus on. And the only way you're going to be able to get to that goal and achieve that goal is if you listen to the feedback. Even though you don't want to hear it, but sometimes you have to hear it because it's the only way that you're going to be able to fix what needs to be fixed. All right. So there you have it. I hope this explains what my situation is with Boosteroid. I still support Boosteroid, but that was only a one-time thing that I did, partnering with them for 1 month. It was like a 1-month deal that I did with them. And now after the 1 month, I still support them, but I'm not obligated to pump out the videos. I'm not obligated to put any banners or anything like that. Okay. Sorry, I got some allergies. So this is not me being negative of the service. It's just me giving a feedback. Think of this as a feedback. As you can see, I still have my service. It's still there. It's still there. I'm just telling Boosteroid marketing team, and hopefully the marketing team will pass on this to the tech team, and the higher ups, so they can look at this feedback, so they can look at this video and see this video as a positive feedback to help you guys out, move in the right direction. I know it's going to be a long road, but it's definitely worth getting in touch with EA. That's the first thing I would do. I would get in touch with EA. Hey, EA, we want to partner with you. Tell them a little bit about your company, about your situation, da-da-da-da. Bring the Battlefield 6. Bringing Battlefield 6 certainly will boost the Boosteroid. For sure. We'll bring more players playing this. Bringing FC26. Just Battlefield 6 and FC26 will bring more people to the Boosteroid. Bringing more racing games will bring more people because they want to driving games. Having more variety of games, more licensing will certainly open up the doors for more players, and they'll come in and join in. You might even have some people from GeForce Now and say, hey, you know what? Goodbye, GeForce Now. I want to move over to Boosteroid. So you need to work on getting as many licensings as possible. You need to negotiate. You need to make the deals. You got to knock on the doors, talk to these different studios, different developers, see what you can do. Please, the user interface needs to be more reorganized, because people have been complaining to me about the user interface, like, oh man, what's with the user interface? User interface is all over the place. And I agree. It's user interface. It's like shuffling the cards, man. It's like reading the cards by a gypsy, a woman in Romania in a gypsy village, shuffling the cards, But I don't want you to look at this video as a negative. I want you to look at this video as a positive feedback. I'm trying to give you guys a positive feedback, so that way you can be more successful. Okay. So that's really all I have to say about that. Hopefully my feedback helps. Hopefully this is something that you might take in consideration. Again, listen, they're their own company. They don't have to listen to me. They don't have to listen to you. They'll choose what's best for them. But this is my feedback. This is how I feel about this, service, because I was partnered with them for a month. I had a lot of experience with this service, so I think I'm obligated to give my feedback based on the experience that I have and based on the other people's feedback that I've been getting regarding this service. So hopefully this helps, and we'll see what happens, in the future. I wish them all the best of luck. I really do. Hopefully they're successful. But then again, there's no guarantees. When it comes to businesses, when it comes to any business, it's like rolling the dice, man. Even when I started this channel, I had no idea. Everything you do in life is just rolling the dice. See where the dice lands and da-da-da-da-da, and see how it goes. And that's pretty much how everything is. There's no guarantees. All right, well, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next video. If you like what I do, please subscribe, share, like, and leave a comment down below. Thank you. God bless you.